It's back. So we've got winter back in our midst in northern Michigan, and but the weather is supposed to get back warm again, back to 40s here the next few days with some sun. So I think a lot of this will settle down. But anyway, it's back for a little while. So this is a video I have been wanting to make for a long time, guys, and it basically kind of wanting to talk about what does it really cost for us to work. And you know, what if have you ever thought, is there a better way? There must be a better way. There must be more to this than you know, the everyday grind and all those kinds of things. And I've thought about this for a long time. And I really got into it more when I started getting into the boats and into the campers and things of that nature. Because when you live on a boat, you don't have to pay for a lot of things. And if you live in a van or a truck camper or what, some of those types of things, there's a lot of things that you just don't need. Your electricity is kind of covered by solar. You're not using any fuel on the sailboat because you're using wind for the most part. Very little fuel to get from place to place. You're anchoring out for free. You're bone docking, so to speak, what you're doing in a camper van or that. So there's really no rent. You're able to kind of feed off the land a little bit. You can kind of fish and that, and some fish and rice and beans. So you can kind of do that, you know, a few times a week. So this is what I'm getting at, is there's just a lot of amenities that you just don't need. And when I say, you know, what's the and people always ask me, would you win the lottery? No. Did you get a big life insurance policy? No. Did you get a bunch of inheritance money? No. I just work very little and have very little, and I'm able to kind of live big. And that's kind of the tiny house movement. But we can get into talking about what does it cost to work. Now, every week we do this. Every week we take a day and in our work week, and say we're working 40 hours a week, we're making, say, 18 or 20 bucks an hour. That's kind of about the average for an average American, or the average person, really, $40,000 a year. So our first day basically is paying for our housing, and this happens every week. Every Monday we're paying for our housing. We're working the full day to pay for housing, and that's, say we're making 200 bucks a day. That's two times four, that's $800 a month. That's about right. 800 to 1,000 a month, and that's renting, or if you own a home. And if you own a home, you got all kinds of other things that jump into play there. You've got, so yeah, if you own a home, you've got, you know, a new roof or new dishwasher, new pipes or new water heater. I mean, it just, you know, the list goes endless. So one whole day just goes for our housing, and then we go into Tuesday. And now we're starting to pay for our utilities, our water, our heat, our electric, garbage pickup. You know, there's a lot of things that fall into play there. We're doing a little bit of miscellaneous stuff. We're actually, in Tuesday, we're kind of paying for probably some clothing, which is, you know, in a winter climate, we're looking at, you know, a lot more clothing than you'd wear in a warm climate. Flip-flops and shorts and tennis shoes or whatever, and a t-shirt. You know, you've dramatically dropped your attire down. So, you know, you're looking at shirts and pants and boots and coats and you know, all the things you need in clothing. And you're also paying for entertainment, which might be Netflix, your phone, if you keep in touch with people, you know, your cable bill, which is 140 bucks, your internet. So you're working at all those kinds of things. And then we get into Wednesday, and we're paying for our pensions and our life insurance and our 401ks and life insurance, or not life insurance, health insurance, which is outrageous, and it can be life insurance. But we got all that other stuff that's compounded on there. And we're doing, in entertainment, we're looking at possibly going out, and having something to eat, or getting a pizza, or going to a microbrew and having a microbrew or something like that. And then Thursday, we get into Thursday, and we got a whole day dedicated to paying for our vehicle. A vehicle to go back and forth to the job. We're paying one day every week to pay for our vehicle. And that's insurance, maintenance, the car payment, tires, oil changes, gas, of course, that's the huge one. So that puts into Thursday. So then Friday comes, and we're finally able to start feeding ourselves or our family. Friday is food. And, we spend the whole day just finally feeding ourselves. And the average family, $700-800 a month for food is certainly not out of the norm by any means. So it's just crazy. We do this every week. Every single week we do this. And, so there's got to be a better way. And I've always looked at it. And where I'm going with this is, what do we basically do with our hours? Where's our hours spent in our lifetime? And we only have a certain amount of hours. We can't put hours back in our bank account. It's only hours out. So when the average person till 65 or 68 years old is 613,000 hours roughly that we have. And then when we get into those hours, we look at, sleep takes a bunch of those hours. So we're dropping down to, maybe 300,000 hours left over. And then we've got to get through school and everything and get ready to go to our job. And we drop it down to another, down to 200,000 hours. And then we go and spend 35 years going to this job to pay for all this crap. Which drops us down the rest of our hours. So when it's all said and done, we've got about 30,000 hours left at retirement. And they say, well, here's your 30 hours. Go enjoy, have a lot of fun. They're yours finally. They're finally yours. Well, that's just not. I just don't find that. That's not how I want to be. I mean, I enjoy doing too many other things. I'm going to cut back on all this stuff, all this crap that I really don't need. And I'm going to live in a camper van, or I'm going to live in a boat, or I'm going to live in a truck camper, and I'm going to live in a trailer, or I'm going to live in a shuttle, that I've converted, or a converted school bus or something like that. And I'm going to take and turn around and have more hours for me, because they're my hours. And why do we trade those hours for so little, so cheap? We trade those hours for $20 an hour. And sometimes on Saturdays, somebody will say, hey, I'll give you $30 an hour if you work 7 more hours on Saturday. And you're like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. And we sell them for $30 an hour. And at the very end of all this, we've got to look back and say, say we're down to our last 5 or 6 or 8 hours in our life, and how much would we actually trade those hours to buy some hours back? How much money would we give to buy those hours back? I'll bet we'd give a whole lot more than $20 for those hours to get to read another book, or see our kids again, or go for a walk on the beach, or anything. So I guess what I'm getting at is, I've always found that, working every week for all this junk, I just don't find that to be a wise use of my time. And then selling my hours for so cheap, I can live off of, $15,000 a year and have a whole lot more hours to hike, canoe, sit on the beach, drink some wine, read my book, walk on the beach, do with those hours what I want to do with those. And that's what I've been doing for about the past 15 years now, is I've changed that game. Now, you know, when we all go to school and we all these things and we get out and we kind of get headed into our careers and into our path of life, we don't realize those hours as till we get a little bit older, and then we realize how precious those hours really are and how much they mean to us. So, yeah, I've been wanting to do this video, guys, and just kind of give you something to just kind of think about, just kind of ponder on, and think about what you're doing. And just remember, you know, anybody can declutter and get out there and live their dream and live how they want to live and do the things they want to do. It's never too late. You can do it. Anybody can do it. Your friends can do it. Your relatives can do it. Anybody. It's just the biggest thing you got to do is take all this junk and get rid of it, and, you know, minimalize down, and get your stuff all sold and get rid of it, and you become so much more free. You have so much more freedom when you don't have all that junk cluttering things up. But anyway, that's a video I've really wanted to get out there, and I've done the video a couple times and stuff, but it always was so cluttered and so long that I wanted to shorten it up. I want to thank all you guys for subscribing on the channel and watching me. As you know, my channel got hacked. I had about 12,000 subscribers, and now I'm just trying to get back up to 1,000 so I can monetize again and all that. So I appreciate you subscribing. Hit that bell so you can get the notifications when I put another video up. I'm going to try and get more and more videos going and coming up. It's just a matter of it's hard to get it all done. I've been working a lot lately when we talk about these hours, but as I said, I still live off about $15,000 a year, so I get a lot of time to myself. I take most of my winters off. I have $4,000 or $5,000 in my pocket, and I can go to Florida or can go out west or do whatever I want and enjoy 4 or 5 months of my own, just doing whatever I want from day to day. So that's kind of how I do it and whatnot. So appreciate everything, guys. I really do appreciate all the comments and all the sharing and the liking, and appreciate it very much, guys. You guys mean a lot to me watching my videos and stuff. This is the Wayne Diaries. Peace out, guys.